Shalom, shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching this truth in sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word. And salutations to the Akim and a few sisters that may be listening. So I don't know what the title is going to be here, but this topic was inspired by a video I was watching of the elders from my camp. So I'm just going to start off with, they said this and it inspired the whole topic for this video. It was, when you suffer, you have the understanding and knowledge. When you suffer and you have the understanding and knowledge, you get purified. When you suffer without the knowledge, you get destroyed, right? And and that's basically the 1/3 versus the 2/3. And that's why it's so important to have the understanding here. And I'm going to just read off the precepts that I have here on my other phone, because this phone that I'm recording on does not have NLT, and some of them I want to read in NLT, and for the sake of time as well, because I do have to head out soon. But yeah, so we're catching hell so that we can be made, ready to be beamed up, as the hopeful elect. And then people, the 2/3, they're just catching hell for, well, to them it seems like no apparent reason, right? There is a reason behind it, but they don't really understand why. That's why a lot of times they get the 2/3 saying things like, if God was real or if God loved me, why would he put me through this, right? And it's like, you don't chasten a child that you don't love, right? That's parents that don't love their children, they don't chasten them. And then those children end up turn out what? Like heathens, just doing whatever abhorrent things, right? Evil things on a regular basis. I'm going to start off here with James 1 and 2, and I'll read it in the King James Version, then NLT. So it says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. And then I have the NLT on my other phone here. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow, right? And that's huge in the truth, and it's something that elders always mention, right? Because a lot of times when we get tested or we're going through these troubling times, people tend to just give up, or they're like, oh, why me, woe is me kind of spirit, right? But you should be looking at in what aspects you can grow, why you're going through this, what you attain from it too, right? Because a lot of times we ask for things from Yahweh Shem Shai, and then when we get put through the test to attain those things, we're always sad about it. Like, oh, why did they go through this? Why me? Why this happened? Woe is me kind of spirit, right? So he's doing it for a reason, right? Because we're supposed to be renewed, right? We don't want to conform to this world. We're trying to be renewed, and to be renewed, we have to go through those hard times. And it's funny because even some people in the world know this, but a lot of people that Christians don't know this, and things. The Christians always they're not privy to this, but people of the world know this. If you listen to entrepreneurs, they always talk about the fact that they had to hit rock bottom to get to where they are now. They had to hit rock bottom to review their life, and then get to whatever their worldly vain goals are now. But it's the same thing when it comes to our spiritual growth, right? We're put through these things, we're put through the fire so that we can grow. So if you go to Revelation 3 and 18, it says we're tried through the fire, right? So I'll just go there real quick. Revelation 3 and 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayst be rich, and white and raiment, that thou may be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayst see, right? So we have to go through those hard times to get the eye salve. We have to go through those tribulations to understand, to get more understanding, to grow more, right? To reach that next level. Because there's always a next level that we're going to be reaching, right? Because again, the 2/3 don't realize that, but it's for the 1/3. Again, we're suffering for a reason. That's the hopeful elect. We're suffering for a reason. And if you go into Jeremiah 30 and 15, again, I'm just going to be reading off of this phone that I have here for the sake of time, and because it has an NLT, and sometimes that's very good to dive into. It could be a simpler breakdown at times, depending on the scriptures. But yeah, let me grab Jeremiah here. Bear with me for 1 second. Jeremiah 3 and 18. Salak, Jeremiah 30 and 15. So Jeremiah 30 and 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. And it says in NLT, why do you protest your punishment? With this wound that has no cure, I have had to punish you because your sins are many and your guilt is great. So, yeah, so we have to go through this chastisement, right? It's like if your child went off, you're just like, oh, no, it's okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep going. Because our people went off. He gave us the laws of understanding. He gave us everything, and our people still went off following these other, well, so-called other gods, right? Even Christmas just passed by, right? A lot of our people still celebrate that, even knowing what it is. Even if some of them are ignorant to it, but the information is out there. And even the ones that do know about it still celebrate it, still do these pagan, celebrate these pagan holidays and do these pagan things, right? Especially even a lot of Christians do it and they still do it because they're like, oh, well, family and getting together. You can get together as a family. You can have family time outside of Christmas. You don't have to celebrate Christmas, put up a Christmas tree, celebrating Nimrod and all that foolishness, right? So again, we're not supposed to be conformed to this world. And it's for a reason, because in Wisdom of Solomon, go to there real quick. It says that we will be rewarded, right? So Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 5. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them. Again, we have to go through that fire, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, when Yahweh Shem Shai comes back, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparkles among the stubble. So you won't even be recognized, right? You'll be a whole new figure at that point. And then I'll also read verse 8. It says, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, as their power, Yahweh Shem Shai, shall reign forever. So we're going through this for a reason, right? As a hopeful elect, hopeful elect, we will receive that power at the end of the day. But we have to go through but currently Esau's in rulership. We have to go through the trials and tribulations. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? When Jacob's trouble hits, it's gonna be a whole nother level, right? And everything, again, we're going through this for a reason. We get rich in faith after we walk through the fire, right? That's an important thing to remember. We're going through the fire so that we get rich in faith, not with money. We're going to be rewarded with faith and with power down the line. But right now it's faith. Faith. This is, again, the elders always say this, but it's a faith-based doctrine. And at the end of, man, all these other so-called religions and gods are supposed to be faith-based, but they're not. They're always basing their beliefs off vanity, right? But yeah, it's a faith-based doctrine. We have to go through the fire. I want to bring out Romans 5 and 3 next as well, because again, we should glory in those tribulations, right? Because it's for a reason. It's not for nothing, and that's the beauty of this knowledge, right? That's something Yahweh Shem Shai always talks about. So Romans 5, and I'll start at 2. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand, so that's Yahweh Shai, and rejoice in hope of the glory of our power. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, right? Knowing the tribulations worketh patience. I can also read the verse 3 in NLT. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance, right? And that's faith, endurance. We need that endurance in this world, because it's very easy to go back into the vanities of this world, right? I'll read verse 4 as well in the NLT. So Romans 5 and 4. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. Because that's how it goes, right? So we keep building more faith and character and developing more in this truth, right? That's how it goes. That's why we have to keep hunkering down in scriptures, following what we can in this world and keep practicing our faith, right? We listen to elders; they always say these things in different ways. And if I bring out Revelation, I know Elder in a recent video brought up Revelation 2 and 26. So I'll bring that as well, just for it's a really good example. And it says, Revelation 2 and 26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Pretty much what I read in another verse before, right? So again, it's said in different parts of the scriptures. And verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. Khan. So it's for a reason. We're going to receive, what we're going to receive after all these trials and tribulations, along with all the knowledge and the character that we develop, right? Because as a hopeful elect, we're going to be put in the power seat. Even kings of the past, right? You'll see this in old movies, or if you look into history, kings of the past, they weren't just made kings with zero knowledge or understanding of how to rule a nation, zero knowledge or understanding of how politics and things works in this world, right? So the same thing when it comes to the scriptures. You have to understand, you have to have a character to lead people, because as a hopeful elect, again, that's where the hopeful elect would be. Because again, the 2/3 are lost. If we're put in the seat to rule over the 2/3, we have to know how to rule over the 2/3 the way Yahweh Shem Shai wants us to, right? And I'll finish off with 2 Corinthians 4:7. So 2 Corinthians 4:7. I'm going to read the 10. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us, right? Oh man, and again, it's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual thing here, right? It's not about vanity, right? Not in this earthen vessel. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. And why? Because we have faith. We have understanding that this things that we have to go through. This is faith. This is how we're built. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed, right? And we're not destroyed because we have the truth. Like, that's why the 2/3, they get destroyed. They get into drugs, they get into gangs, they get into all this foolishness. They sell their soul, like the black boule, things along those lines, right? They're destroyed. But the hopeful elect is not, because we have the understanding, right? If I read NLT in 2 Corinthians 4:9 in NLT, we are hunted down but never abandoned by Yahweh. We get knocked down but we are not destroyed. Khan. Because everything that our people have been through, but we're not destroyed, right? The fact that we came back to the truth, starting from 1969. I'm always bearing about in the body the dying of Yahweh Shai, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body. And that's why we try to strive to be like him. We can't in these bodies in this world, because we can't follow every single law, but we still strive for perfection, right? We strive to be like him. Again, we're practicing to be in that ruler seat as a hopeful elect. And I'll jump down to verse 17, and I'll read down to 18. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, because again, it's faith-based doctrine. You're not going to always see things physically. You have to look at things in a spiritual sense. Because Yahweh Shem Shai can send you a sign but if you're not looking at it in a spiritual sense, you're not gonna see it, right? You need that eye salve. You need to have the eye salve on so that you can see these things, or so it's gonna go right over your head, and you're not gonna understand why you're suffering. You're not gonna grow because you're not looking at it in a spiritual sense. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And if I read NLT in the verse 18 again, so 2 Corinthians 4:18 in NLT. So we don't look at the troubles we can see now, rather we fix our gaze on things that cannot be seen. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever. And that's said beautifully. Because the spiritual growth that we have, that's gonna go with us, right? That's gonna accumulate. That and when we get the view of our past lives as well, all that knowledge, all that wisdom is going to accumulate. And again, it's practice for when we're putting that ruler seat, as the hopeful elect and the 1/3, so they can rule over the 2/3 and the heathens as well. So Khan, again, I'm not sure what the title for this is. Maybe I'll title it Holy Suffering. Because again, the main point here that I heard in a video with the elders is when you suffer and have the understanding and the knowledge, you get purified. And when you suffer without the knowledge, you get destroyed. So we don't want to be destroyed, right? We want to learn and grow from all the tribulations that we're going through. And on that, I'll end the video here. Not to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us in the truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word, and salutations to the Akim that may listen. Hopefully this was edifying, and shalom till next time.